Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Why the Earth Needs Your True Voice Now. Vocalize with purpose, healing the earth as she heals you through ritual, sound, and song. My name is Stephen Dine. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and I have been really blessed to, through my job, go on a journey into the spirit of music and sound as not just as something beautiful, but as something that heals, that uplifts, that reconnects and reweaves us together as a human family and even with the earth. We're going to get to explore deeper dimensions of this reweaving and how your voice can play an integral role in that with a truly wonderful singer and teacher. Her name is Reya Manna. She's the founder of the SongKeeper School. She's an author, singer, and ceremonialist, and we're really blessed to have her today. And if you're excited by what you hear today, we're going to have a chance to go much deeper in a brand new upcoming course called The Journey of the Songkeeper. So more to come, and we'll share more about that towards the end of the hour. So Rhea, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Oh, Stephen, thanks so much for having me.
Well, I love getting to hear a little bit about the backstory that brought you to be a songkeeper, and I'm sure that there was a deeper call behind this and a deeper evolution in your own life and work. So let's hear about that first and then set some context for diving deep together.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I always knew that I wanted to be a singer. Since before I could talk, I was singing, and it seemed like a clear path. And in my teenage years, I was told I couldn't be a singer because singers didn't make any money. And little did I know that that would be the very pain point that I would be working with later in life. Also, as I grew, I developed a deep devotion and love of God. And that took me on this search. And I spent time in Africa and Ireland and learning traditional indigenous songs and wisdom. But it wasn't until my first South American medicine ceremony, when I heard the shaman singing the healing, that this light bulb went off. And I said, I knew that singing was for more than just performance.
Mm.
And as I was trying to find my way where I couldn't be a singer, so I thought, I got a Master of Social Work, a Master of Divinity. I studied multicultural philosophy and developed this deep interest in psychology and our inner workings. I later went on to become a yoga teacher and work extensively with yoga and meditation and esoteric spirituality. And through that process, recognized the role that the voice plays in the wholeness of the body. And actually, singing is the first form of sound healing. When we sing, we resonate our sinuses, we literally resonate our bones and can transform our DNA. And kind of fast forward to COVID time, and I was singing and I was teaching, but then when the world got shut down and I didn't have anyone to sing to any longer, I was living in Topanga Canyon in California, and I would go outside and sing to the mountains. And after a few weeks of this, I felt that they really liked it. And I was reminded of a time 10 years prior where I had been sun gazing and sending blessings to the earth. And during that time period, the earth started to speak back. And I was shown that all wisdom from all time is contained in the energetic field of the earth. And we can open up that field of wisdom through building relationship, through sending energy, through song. So then during this time in COVID, as I began to sing to the land and rebuild this relationship, I had a calling to go and sing to sacred mountains, which I resisted because it didn't seem to make much sense. It was like, oh, quit your job. I was running online events for a yoga platform. And the message was, quit your job and go sing to sacred mountains. So after 3 months of saying that that sounded crazy, I gave in, and right away I was invited to lead a women's retreat in the Ko'olau Mountains of Oahu, Hawaii. I spent time in the Chiricahua Mountains of Arizona and Sedona, and then led a private retreat in the Grand Tetons. And singing to the earth began to speak once again. And she showed me that the earth is living, and to keep her living, we must sing to her. And she downloaded me the program for the SongKeeper School, showed how to build connection and relationship with the earth, with the trees, with the water through song, and how the earth herself is this living library, this memory keeper of the truth of who we are. So when we sing to her, it restores our own memory. And in this time of so many changes of directions and seeming darkness, the earth showed me that we need to come back to her so that she like has this storehouse of wisdom and an arsenal of goodness that she's empowering us with for this next phase of human evolution.
What an amazing backstory. That's so evocative, and it kind of for some. I was thinking about the concept of Aini as you're speaking, and it sort of brings almost like a vibrational depth to that concept of the creating a real relationship, a reciprocity, and more of a bi-directional relationship with the earth through the power of the voice and vibration. That's really quite beautiful. What so once you started accessing this deeper repository of information and real communication with the earth, what kinds of guidance was coming through for you just on a personal level?
Uh, Great question. Well, one is that I need that sacred reciprocity to live in balance. And also this remembrance that there was a time where humankind had the power of the word, the power to create reality with our speech. And actually, we still have that power. We're doing it all the time. Yet the kind of magic key is we need to practice doing what we say. We need to have right action, right word, right speech. So often the messages that we're saying one thing, oh, I really want this, but then we are having it, we're holding another message in our consciousness. So many teachings about alignment and purification. And in different traditions that I've studied, so many of them have this awareness of ritual purification, either through water, or through fire, or some kind of baptism. And this idea is that we cleanse the falsehoods, we cleanse the debris that we've collected over time or that we've inherited, and we can come back to ourselves as this pure channel that can then be utilized as a voice of the divine for goodness into this world.
Hmm. So it's almost like as you're harmonizing with the planet, then sort of it's almost getting a healing session from the planet into your own nervous system and body, it sounds like.
And that's beautifully put, Stephen. And that was one of the most really awe-inspiring messages is, we are all each other. In Mayan, they say, in Lakesh, ala kin, I am another you. And so this is an idea that we are all each other. And we live kind of in a house of mirrors. We're being reflected to ourselves through each person we meet, through each situation. And it's true with the earth as well. So when I started to work with the chakras of the earth and certain temples and sacred sites, those are all holding information that is contained in my own body. And also restoring this awareness that a human form is a path of the mysteries. It's said in Kabbalah that we're born into this life so that we can be born again in the spirit. And what that means is that we recognize that we're more than this physical repository of desires and longings, and that we have a greater purpose that spans before this life began and when this life is over. So when you work with the earth, we can access points in ourselves that we can't quite see directly. And it's said that our greatest trouble is caused not by that which we know, but that which we don't know about ourselves. So when we start to sing to the earth, we sing to these places that maybe we didn't even realize we needed a healing. And so we sing, and then the wisdom becomes open to us, and then trauma is released from our own body as a byproduct.
Hmm. So when you were first guided to sing to these specific mountains, like what was that? So how was that opening certain parts of your body mind field? What were they connected with, if you will?
Ah, um, Gosh, well, I fell in love with mountains when I was in my early 20s, and um, it opened up probably my heart. And this is reminding me that, oh, I wish I could remember the exact terminology, but the word for water in Hawaiian is something that has to do with heart water or something. Like there's this connection point between the waters and the mountains and our hearts. And so for me, when I would sing to the mountains and sing to this beautiful, overwhelming presence, my heart would open, and often I would cry just feeling the love and the majesty. In this world, so many people are at a loss for connection, for meaning, for purpose, for sense of belonging. But you stand at the foot of one of these holy mountains, one of these master teachers, and with nothing else than the desire to bless and empower this land, something happens where you suddenly feel the love of a mountain coming at you.
Mm.
So, and they say in the Karo people, who also hold this principle of Aini, sacred reciprocity, that the access to the unseen world is gifted to the humble heart. So it's almost like sitting in the presence of this mountain, having your heart opened, then the wisdom can begin to be opened for you as well.
Hmm. It's fascinating as you describe this. It makes me understand a little more deeply, like why it's actually more powerful to sing to mountains than to human audience, because the human audience is still going to have all of its, complexity, but then you're opening to this much vaster intelligence and library and realignment when you're singing to a mountain or a stream. That's really fascinating.
Yes, and we do the same for each other, and when we're working as song keepers, we're working with the heart. We're singing from the heart and we're singing to the heart. So it's this idea that, again, all wisdom from all time is contained within us. So it's opened by emotion and it's opened by frequency. Also the gift of singing isn't having a passive audience. We as human beings, we're created in the image and likeness of the divine. We have the power to act in the world to bless it. Saint Teresa of Avila says that Christ has no body but ours, no hands but ours, no feet but ours. Our hands are those which do good into the world. So we have this ability to act and to create. And when we join together in unified field and sing to the earth, the blessings that we receive, the capacity to have healed and restored the holiness of our very earth, then is activated.
Mm. So let's talk a little bit about the voice. So obviously the voice is the portal through which this deeper relationship opens with the earth and with ourselves. So how does this perspective shift how we open to and work with our voice to kind of like embody or open that portal more?
Thank you for that. Well, our voice, it is the voice of our soul. It contains the frequency of the truth of who we are, as well as the woundings and the challenge and the traumas and the belief systems that we've held. And so our voice is this aspect of creation in the higher worlds. In Kabbalah, they say that we create in the lower worlds through Yasod, through the sacral chakra, through the moon, through sex. In the upper worlds, we create through the power of our voice. And in the Kabbalistic tree of life, the hidden sphere is Da'at. And so it's said that once you can reawaken Da'at, you have the power to speak reality into existence. And so for us, kind of to start out, once we offer our voice as a prayer, as a conduit of goodness for something greater than ourselves, it begins to heal those places where we've had disconnect, where we've had wounding, because many of those places are connected with some kind of sense of individuation, some kind of sense of our own being that wasn't quite good enough or didn't quite measure up. And once we offer our voice to bless something greater than ourselves, it begins to expand our identity beyond that wounded sense of self to this greater eternal collective identity.
I love that. Now, you've used the term songkeeper in your school, and I think it's always an interesting paradigm shift from like I'm a singer to like a songkeeper, like you're carrying, you're stewarding something rather than you own it. I wonder if you can share just a little bit about the shift into identity of being a songkeeper and working with the earth in this way, and how that shifts your relationship with music and sound.
And again, great question. In the Western world, we've been conditioned that singing and sound is for performance, that it's reserved to the elite few who are talented enough to, want to be heard. But yet, singing has been a natural part of our lives since the inception of human beings and society. We would sing to the rising sun. We would sing with the washing of the clothes, to the births and to the deaths. And so when we recognize that the sound of our voice is a necessary part of the symphony of creation and begin to reinstate our sound, our note, our song into the symphony, it shifts from, oh, I have to stand on the stage and make sure I sound good enough for this audience of passive listeners, to actually, we're all in this together. And I'm going to call forth the beauty in you to sing with the beauty in me. And we're going to reawaken the beauty that's in this land, which could be the very remedy that's needed at this time. Native cultures understood that we needed to make offerings to the land to keep it living. And over the last several hundred years with the Industrial Revolution, we've learned how to take resources without giving back. And so part of the dysfunction and the disease of society, either health-wise or psychologically or in terms of our economy, in part comes from this deficit in the spiritual world, in the unseen world. So when we begin to sing to the land, we reinfuse that bank of energy. We reinfuse that bank of love and vitality. All things physical, material are sourced from the unseen world. And so when we work with our voice in this way, we're giving back to the source of all creation.
I love that. Let's dive a little deeper into the practice and like how you start to just sequentially open to these deeper octaves of experience and communion and relationship. So how do you do you just start singing, or is there sort of a sequence of things that kind of leads to the deeper openings in relationship?
Hmm. Well, first you connect with your heart and connect in with the heart of the universe, the heart of Pachamama, and recognize that you are an integral part of this. And then you start to sing. And it can be anything. It can be a sound, it can be a mantra, it can be I love you. And you just start to contribute your sound back into the mix. And as you do that over time, it begins to reawaken this relationship with the unseen world. So truly, the trees and the birds and the wind are always dialoguing with us. We live inside of this field of responsiveness. The rains will come when we call, when we've built this relationship. But however, many of us haven't been told that this relationship is possible. So once you start to sing and you do it consistently, then this field of responsiveness opens to you. You begin to receive messages, and there's a practice of attention and listening. And as you go through that practice of attention and listening, then you realize that maybe some things that you had dismissed before as just chance actually was the unseen world speaking to you.
Mm. Well, I really love your perspective. This is a very fresh angle on sound healing and voice work, and to really reconnect with this larger field. And I could keep asking questions, but I know you have a very in-depth visualization and song to guide us in. So let's dive into the experiential you want to lead.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Yes. Well, we'll do a guided visualization to bring us back into that heart of the universe. And I always like to have us rub our hands together to get started. We want to engage our body because the sound of our voice doesn't just come from our throat. It comes from the sacred vessel. So our hands are an extension of our heart. Our heart is the seat of love and compassion in the world. When we activate our hands, we are activating our hearts. So just to give us a little warm up, shake out the hands, and then we can just bring our palms face up in the lap and close our eyes, connecting in with our breath, taking a deep breath into our hearts, and feeling the spark of light that lives within our heart. And then connect in with this sacred circle, with all of those who are here today in the seen and the unseen worlds. Those of us who feel called to be tenders of this holy wisdom, tenders of the sacred fire, tenders of the new earth. Feeling us in sacred circle together, all of our hearts connected. And the light shining within each of our hearts. And then connecting in with the heart of our Mother Earth. See her heart as a beautiful shining star. And feeling our circle expand to include our Mother Earth. And then connecting in with the heart of the sun. The sun, the home of the luminous beings, the angelic realms, divine intelligence, and feeling our circle expanding to include the heart of the sun. And then in this sphere of awareness, feel the light within each of us expanding. Expanding, expanding, expanding until the totality is light. Until the all that is light. And in this safe and sacred space, we invite back all parts of ourselves. All parts that may have been rejected or forlorn, the shameful parts, the abandoned parts, inviting those parts of ourselves back. In recognition that perhaps those parts were holding gifts to be returned to us in this now moment. In this now moment when we're fortified with the strength of the collective, with the unity of truth. And connecting in with the soul, with our soul, with the soul of the world. And speaking to that soul, we say, "Oh, my soul, how I have traveled in and out of worlds, lived experiences, material realities, ecstasy and desperation. I long to come home to myself. You are bright and resplendent. You are one with Source. You are all-knowing. You are made in the image and likeness of the divine, my soul. I now come home to you." And feeling the warmth inside of your chest, feeling the centeredness within your being. And feeling this connection with your voice. With your voice as part of the symphony of the divine. And seeing your voice, your throat, your mouth, your jaw, your sinuses filled and illuminated with light. And connect in with whatever intention that you're holding. And then inhaling deeply into the chest. Hold the breath, squeeze the body. Exhale nose. Exhale all the breath out. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath, pull the navel toward the spine, squeeze the body. See your spine lit like a light. Exhale all the breath out. Once more, inhale deeply. Hold the breath, squeeze the body. See your whole being illuminated with light. Whole, complete, happy, healthy. Exhale. And then inhale deeply into the chest. Hold the breath, squeeze the body. Exhale, shake out the hands. And we'll open our eyes. And we're going to sing a song. And this song is, "O Great Spirit, we give our gratitude and praise." And this is the idea that thank you can be the first prayer, the last prayer, the only prayer. So we're saying thank you for all that was, saying thank you for all that will be. Thank you for the presence of the divine. And I invite you to sing along. And just sing that gratitude from your heart. Spirit, we give our gratitude and praise. Oh, great Spirit, we give our gratitude and praise. Now, call the directions. Spirit of the east, spirit of the west, spirit of the north, spirit of the south, come, 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 come. Spirit of the east, spirit of the west, spirit of the north, spirit of the south, come, 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 oh great Spirit, we give our gratitude and praise. Oh great Spirit, we give our gratitude and praise. Repeat after me. Spirit of the earth, spirit of the water, spirit of the earth, spirit of the water, spirit of the wind, spirit of the sun, spirit of the wind, spirit of the sun. Great Mother, great Mother, great Mother, great Mother, come, 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 calling the light of creation, calling the light of creation. We are the Rainbow Nation, we are the Rainbow Nation. This is the end of illusion, this is the end of illusion, 'cause we remember who we are, we remember who we are, we remember who we are, we remember. All together. We remember who we are, 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 we remember who we are. We keep singing that. Who we are, oh great Spirit, we give our gratitude Oh, goodness be with you now and forever. All that was lost be restored to you. Heaven and earth smile on your children. Oh, goodness be with you now and forever. All that was lost be restored to you. Heaven and earth smile on your children. Oh, Great Spirit, we give our gratitude and praise. And I invite you to inhale deeply. And then exhale, rub your hands together. And send blessings to the earth through the palms of your hands. Send gratitude, love, send the love in your hearts. Blessings to the water, to all beings, seen and unseen, known and unknown. To those in need, those who are suffering. See the all that is remembering itself. Remembering the love. Thank you.
What a luminous offering. Thank
Oh,
you. Your voice is beautiful, and that was the words, pure poetry. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, really profound. Well, it almost feels sacrilegious to ask questions, but I do still have some more
Well, questions fit right in because this
questions.
is,
But
yeah,
yeah,
this is, we reconnected. We reconnected. We
yeah,
plugged back in with the giving field.
the giving field. Yeah, and I love that the beginning with gratitude, and so that's sort of part of what restores the sacred relationship. Um, So you had mentioned this sort of different, you could tune in with different parts of your body that are sort of mirrored in the earth. And I'm curious if you want to reflect any about like the singing to specific places or ecosystems or, are there certain in that healing of the restoration of the embodiment, is there a particular recipe for singing to streams, oceans, or just any guidance on that?
Ah, yes, and it's vast. So, first of all, it's reminding me of a dream I had had years back. I was in the dream, I was in Hawaii, and I was outside the wall of this sacred land. It was so sacred, and I wanted to go in so much. And as I'm standing outside the wall, Spirit said, you don't have to go inside that holy ground. Everywhere you step is sacred.
Hmm.
So when we sing to the land in recognition that it is sacred, it restores its sacredness. It restores
Hmm.
it as a living teacher. You know,
Hmm.
and then kind of to expand upon that is everywhere we live has a spirit of place. The spirit of place it's like the soul that houses the body. The spirit
Mhm.
of place animates the matter crystallizes out of the spirit of place. How I had this teaching was when I was in South Africa and I was on safari and I'm seeing the zebra and the giraffe and the elephants and the lions and then going into the villages and hearing the music, and that's when Spirit said, this is the spirit of place which is exhibited through my creation. And then whatever needs to get worked out, whatever traumas, issues, there can be wounding in the land that then can be healed through the spirit of place. Those woundings then get played out through the people, through the way we relate with each other. So when we sing to the land as sacred, it begins to heal those places where there had been maybe that ancestral trauma or wounding. One step further is where we have the chakras of the earth, just like we have our own chakras. For instance, the root chakra is considered to be Mount Shasta. Our root is connected to our ancestry, our sense of belonging. So if we're feeling not safe and secure in this world, we can sing to even a picture of Mount Shasta, an object from Mount Shasta. We can sing to just the energetic connection of Mount Shasta, and so on and so forth up the chakra system. So those are a couple ways to work with that energy.
Hmm. I love that. And yeah, so there's so many dimensions in what you're sharing. And just what are working from the other way, if you have like specific blocks that are in your body, how would you sort of weave that into this practice? Like you're sort of you're trying to see the mirroring of the earth of a particular blockage and sort of like working with that. I just curious like how you go about if you've got particular stress points or disease or something in your body, how you would kind of weave that into this practice.
Uh, a couple different ways. Say, for instance, in the context of what we're talking about here, if someone wants to open their voice, the throat chakra of the planet is considered to be the pyramids at Giza in Egypt. And so, if you know that there's some kind of block, but you're not sure what it is, you can for the blessings and empowerment and purification of the chakra of the planet, the throat chakra of the planet, singing to the pyramids, seeing them being in their original stainless purity, holding the light and the frequencies of their highest potential and possibility. So then what happens when you sing for the empowerment of something that you know is reflecting a part of you, but you may not know exactly what, then things start to open that you may not even have known what was needed to open. And the same can be true. I find that life often gives us someone to help or a situation to be in service to that mirrors something that we're going through or that we will go through in the future. So sometimes it could just be that person that's showing up in front of us that we can love and tend to and make space and availability for. That could be a byproduct of healing ourselves. It's mostly this shift in our awareness to recognize that we're not isolated beings, that
Mhm.
everything that's entering into our field is showing us something about ourselves and giving us a gift to grow and heal.
Mm. I love that. And I want to kind of build on that and just ask about specific kind of memories and how the sort of things are held in our system energetically and how the voice can sort of be attuned to the planet and then dissolving some of that carried history.
Thank you. Beautiful question. Um, I had heard once that a child's power, an infant's power, lies in their cry. Our cry is our first power in this world, our ability to call out and be responded to. And so, how many of us, as infants, as children throughout our lives, have not been heard and responded to in the way that we need? And our voice becomes encoded either with being heard or not being heard. So, simultaneous, and I mentioned before that our voice is encoded with the truth of who we are, as well as our woundings and traumas and belief systems. So, all the messages are contained in this frequency of our voice. So if we're, asking again and again for what we want and we feel like we're not being heard, it could be because there's a belief system encoded into the frequency of our voice that's kind of a self-defeating prophecy. In addition, our listening plays an impact in the role of our speaking. As we've been growing up, if we have heard messages that we didn't think were very loving, at some point our self protective mechanism is going to kick in and we're like, whoa, I'm not hearing that anymore. What happens as we begin to shut down our listening, we shut down our capacity to fully be self expressed. So, our power is contained in our voice and our disappointment in the places where we got folded back upon ourselves. So when we begin to offer our voice in service to something greater, it begins to smooth out those edges. When we begin to receive the sounds, those sacred, sweet, loving sounds of mantra or sacred chants or the sweet song of a grandmother, when we begin to, or of a loved one, when we begin to hear these beautiful sounds, allow ourselves to receive them and then fill our mouths with loving words, with holy words, singing to the earth, then this begins to repair that process.
Hmm. Well, I love how you reflect on this. You're really quite a deep wisdom keeper around this work. So thank you for all of what you've shared. And I want to spend some time now talking explicitly about your upcoming course, since it's a really unique opportunity to do deep healing work, but not just in an isolated way, in relationship with the earth and with each other in a way that is part of this larger field you've been describing so beautifully. So we're really blessed that Ray has agreed to teach this great, brand new course for Shift. I think it's very innovative and breaks some very interesting new ground for us. It's called The Journey of the SongKeeper. Sing with spirit and purpose, healing the earth as she heals you through ritual and sound. So it's all about establishing the spirit of reciprocity and this kind of mutual healing relationship where the healing of yourself and the healing of the planet go hand in hand. You can find it at the URL ceremonialsong.com, ceremonialsong.com. It's a 7-week program. You don't have to be a singer or consider yourself a singer yet, but it's more about just opening and leaning into the spirit of possibility to create this vibrational relationship with yourself and with the earth in a beautiful new way. So Ray, I'd love for you to share some of your intentions for what people will come away with in this course, and then we'll go through the modules and give a preview of what's coming.
Thank you. Well, primarily, what I would love for people to come away with is the recognition that their voice matters, their heart matters, their dreams matter, the things that bring them joy and bring them life matter. That's all part of our self-expression. And as we recognize that we matter, and then we place ourselves as a part of this greater field of responsiveness, this connected field of the earth, also we recognize that we're not alone. So I'm hoping that people recognize their voice matters, also that they're part of something so much greater, that no one is alone and worthless, and that they can find greater meaning and purpose simply by plugging back in to remember themselves, to give strength to maybe those dreams that had kind of gotten a little dusty. And yeah, just coming back to themselves and how much their voice matters in the mix.
Beautiful intentions. So module 1 is called Deepen Your Connection with All of Life with a Reconnection Ritual to Gaia.
So in this module, we will do a ceremony of retribution to come back into connection with our Mother Earth. Letting go of any sorrow we've had of being away and come back into that space of connection, and sing to the earth to begin to open up that connection field. And also we'll learn a song called Hollow Bone. And there's this idea in indigenous traditions: make me a hollow bone, make me this instrument, this hollow reed where spirit can flow through. So we're going to introduce that song, and there'll be an opportunity for people actually to sing on the recording, the final recording we're going to release, the last class. So we'll introduce that song and give information for how you can sing and be part of the actual recording, your name on there and everything.
Module 2, Mantra Chanting and the Chakra System for Stimulating Your Energy Meridians, Nervous System, and Brainwaves.
So in this module, we are going to learn about the chakras of the body and the correspondences. So we have 7 chakras, begins with the heart, moves up and down. So we can work with our lower chakras to support our upper chakras, to support our voice, and vice versa. We'll also learn about the nadis, the 72,000 nerve networks that run through the body, and how to stimulate those with song and sound. So this gets into the more specifics using yogic philosophy, a little bit of science in terms of how to actually use sound for alchemy.
Module 3, Temples and Sacred Sites and the Relationship to Your Divine Human Voice, Fulfilling Your Highest Actualization.
So we will go on a deep dive into temples and sacred sites, what makes them so on planet Earth, connecting in with certain temples and sacred sites and learning how to restore our own sacred body temple. So when our voice is moving through our instrument as a sacred body temple, that's where the power of the word begins to be reactivated. So we're kind of winding up for our grand finale with our 7th class. So this is beginning the restoration of the sacredness of the voice.
Module 4, Singing to Build Relationship with the Consciousness of Water, Cultivating Greater Receptivity, Flow, and Emotional Well-Being.
Well, it's said by some that we have entered into the age of Aquarius, which is the water bearer. Our planet is 70% water. We are 70% water. The waters are our brothers and sisters, and they're here to teach us about group consciousness. I've been working extensively with the Emoto Peace Project Dr. Masaru Emoto's team over the last year working with water and clearing and healing the waters. So we're going to learn songs for the water and learn how to build that relationship with the water.
Module 5, Bridging Heaven and Earth, singing Father Sky and Mother Earth to create a channel in yourself for the universe to speak through.
So this is really a point of restoring that connection. You know, how many of us have felt disconnected from the mother, from the father, from our own mother, father? This is designed to begin to heal those wounds, to bring us into that space of the awareness that we are the beloved children of our divine Father Sky and our Mother Earth. We'll learn songs to build relationships, and we'll recognize ourselves as the bridge between.
Module 6, an ancestral healing ceremony for activating the power of your lineage.
So in this session, there's a saying that I've heard, and it says, out of nobility or out of grief, we pick up the burdens of those who have laid them down before us. So in this ancestral healing work, we are going to look at what burdens we have picked up that are not ours. We're going to send blessings and empowerments through our ancestral line so that we can fully restore our own lineage to its rightful place and to feel the support of our unseen, this network of unseen allies that we have.
Module 7, the final module, is called Army of Singers to Sing in the New Earth.
So there is a story in the Bible about a general that was getting ready for battle. And in front of his army, he sent an army of singers. And once, before I knew this story, I dreamt of this army of singers that had come to raise the frequency of the planet and to anchor the energy of the new earth. So the idea is that through our 7-week course, we'll have restored the sacredness of the voice, built that connection with our spirit of place where we physically live, built the relationship with the earth, and then joined together as one unified field to sing heaven on earth.
All right. Well, that's an amazing backstory to that module. It's a prophetic module. So, really cool. Reya, it's an exciting program, and I really feel like you're opening some important new areas for deeper exploration and healing and collective transformation. So I'll share a little bit more. Again, there's details at ceremonialsong.com, and we've just heard the 7 90-minute live sessions described, which we'll also have time to ask your questions live. If you choose to move forward, you'll get recordings of every session, both audio and video, as well as word-for-word transcripts. There'll be weekly practices you can do at home and really build this deeper relationship with yourself and the planet, as well as community time to support you and deepen your experience. And on the page, you'll see there's also a number of extra bonuses that Ray has been very generous in adding to the course. There's a whole video course called the SongKeeper's Foundations. That's very robust. You want to share more about that?
It is very robust. It's 3 sessions, and they're about 90 minutes each as video content. And the first session gives us that reconnection with the earth. We learn songs to reconnect with the earth. In addition, you receive audio files, written material. The second module is for the mantra, the chanting, to learn a little bit of the scientific principles. And the third module is some voice work, some voice exercises, how to activate the voice, proper body posture, proper vocal placement. And there's video modules, there's audio recordings of songs, there's written material, and there's also a meditation practice so that you can you can have your own singing meditation practice daily, so you can start to build these energies inside of yourself.
So cool. That's just one bonus, and there's a second bonus is a PDF ebook called The Song Keepers, Guardians of the Earth. You want to share anything about your ebook?
So this is the knowledge base of what I have been learning. It goes to speak about the different traditions of song keepers from around the world, how to activate those capacities in and of ourselves, how to build this relationship. And it goes on a journey into the elements and how to have that relationship with the elements, and hopefully expand our identity and our awareness to that we're more than just this individual unit, but actually we encompass the totality, and that we can heal the totality through ourselves, and we can be healed through a healthy totality.
Fantastic. And then there's one extra final bonus, which is sounds very beautiful. It's a whole 2-hour video recording and PDF called the SongKeeper School Special Sound Healing Class. So this is your special bonus you get if you sign up by midnight tonight Pacific time, which gives you a little extra encouragement to tune in now and go to ceremonialsong.com and really take the time to tune in. And if you're getting a yes to move forward, then you're going to get that special bonus of a ceremonial a special sound healing class. So Ray, you want to share about that special bonus today?
Yes, and it is a very special sound healing class because I go through sound healing connected with the elements. You learn the instruments that are connected with the elements. You learn how to make a sound healing recipe moving through the elements for alchemy and transmutation. I have not encountered anything else like it. So it's very special, and it's only one time that I taught that material.
Hmm. Amazing. So that's their special bonus if you choose to move forward today. So this is clearly going to be an amazing program, and you can just feel the quality of the depth and the vibration of what Ray is bringing forward. So we've kept the investment very accessible for you. It's just 3 payments of $128, so you save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start October 22nd and run Wednesdays at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community, and really doing the practices. So there's some beautiful testimonials on the page. There's just a lot of good energy around this program, and I know that it's going to be a blessing for anybody who chooses to move forward. So again, it's all laid out in detail at ceremonialsong.com, and you're going to get that special 2-hour sound healing class when you sign up by midnight tonight. So Rhea, it's been a real pleasure to be with you, and just I really love your perspective on this work. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and dedicating your life to this, even though you got the message that you would never make it as as a singer. So you're like, ha, I showed you.
My rebellious nature.
So good for you, and thanks for bringing this to us at the Shift Network. So, anything that's still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering doing the class with you?
Well, one thing that comes to my mind is this story that I heard about a Sufi caravan. It's said that this Sufi caravan comes from the future back into the past and deposits gifts for us along the way to help us remember who we are. And in this moment in time, there are great gifts being provided to us from our future selves, from our future society that makes it. And I invite us to take the time to come into this communion with our voices, with our hearts, to collect some of those gifts that our own spirit has deposited from the future back to us in the here and now.
And I love that we're being pulled towards that future, and I can feel it in your words and in your song as well. So thank you for being an emissary of that future into the present moment. And thank you all for joining. And look forward to seeing many of you in the course with Rhea because it's going to be beautiful. It's all at ceremonialsong.com, and you get that special bonus of the sound healing class when you sign up by midnight tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you
Many
so
blessings.
much. Blessings.